Lions Rock Productions.
This is Jay Moore.
This is Greg Cruz.
This is Bryce Vine.
This is Dexter from The Offspring.
This is Nathan
This
East.
is Sebastian Younger.
This is Daryl Ames.
This is Stuart Copeland.
This is Mick Gillette.
This is Andy Summers.
This is Dr. Bob Greenberg.
This is Gabby Reese.
This is Rob Bell.
Hey, this is John Leon Guerrero.
Hey, and this is Pete A. Turner.
This is Mark Pellington. I'm back on the Break It Down show. Happy to be here.
And now, the Break It Down show with John Leon Guerrero and Pete A. Turner.
In life, and it takes more than that to actually have a vision that moves people emotionally.
Yeah, you would think so. I've never done reality TV, so I don't know. It's a totally different beast, you know? I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to make that.
Good.
Thank you.
I can't fucking stand that shit.
But like a movie like Nostalgia is part of reality, and it has more weight. I mean, yeah, it's not part of the Marvel Universe and everything, but when someone's trying to understand or deal or share how to deal with grief, like that movie, you know, there's movies that you watch for breakups. There's movies you watch when my girlfriend's got one that she watches when she's feeling kind of blue and down and everything. We have these things that just...
Well, if that's any indicator, nostalgia is for people who lost their homes, and from the letters and emails I've gotten,
yeah,
people have lost their house in a fire. I've gotten several emails from them that says, like, you know what, this movie really spoke to me. Lost people, grief.
Sure.
I think just general loss. So it was a meditation on that. You know, it's funny. I made it just because I wanted to make a movie that structurally wasn't like a linear narrative. I just wanted to make a movie, and I was like, what can I do cheap? And
yeah, you talked about this last time. You're like, I usually make them in the fall when everybody's done, and I go grab people between projects, and I call Ellen on the phone, and I'm like, Ellen, let's go to Miami, and she's like, why not? You know?
Well, that, you know, I mean, like, you always think, like, Steven Soderbergh's, like, the one guy that can pick up the phone and say, hey, Matt Damon, let's go do this, and do a big budget. These smaller, low-budget things, what I've learned is you've got to take some risks, and the lower the budget is, the more you can take the power back. It's okay, if the script's going to draw some actors, you got a shot at getting it made. It's so hard to get a movie made these days. It's so hard to get anything made that it's just really a test of perseverance. You got to really have faith in it yourself, and again, stuff that's about something, or stuff that's darker, or stuff that's structurally challenging. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching a great, really entertaining genre movie, a prison movie called Shot Caller. I don't know if you saw it. Pretty good. Really good. Somebody said, oh, you should go see that. Sure enough, like, you know, guy, family man, gets manslaughter, DUI, ends up in prison, and just by a set of circumstances just is in there for a really long time. Really entertaining. Really good 2 hours of your of time. Do you know what I mean? But, like, so it can explore these things, but because it's a prison, crime, gangster thing, like, that's how those movies get made. Stuff like Nostalgia is really hard, no matter if you have John Hamm in it and Bruce Dern and great actors.
Right.
Dramas are extremely tough to get made. They're just hard, at least, you know, or at least the ones that you have to get 90% Rotten Tomatoes to get people to come to the theater, because they're just like, great, I'll just watch it at home. Why am I going to get in my car and go drive and go see it when I could just watch it at home?
I think it's easy to understand that you're going to escape if it's a comedy and it's got Kevin Hart in it. You know, okay, that guy is funny. He cracks me up. I know if I spend some money, I'm going to leave my normal life. And it's a more of a pull that's required for somebody to say, well, I already got a dramatic life. I already got a bunch of bullshit going on.
No shit. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I literally, like, with my daughter and I, like, there's some movies like I don't want to go see it.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll go through a period where I'll just go see everything and go see art house movies and go to the Lemley Monica at 2 p.m. because it's only playing like in 2 times.
Right.
You know, if I read the review, and then I'll go through periods where it's like I just want to go see the Kevin Hart movie.
Yeah.
Or my daughter, like, she wanted to go see that Melissa McCarthy movie.
Oh, sure.
Like, her going back to college. Like, I said, how was it? She goes, it was 6 laughs, 7 laughs. It's okay. You saw 3 of them in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, I want to go see that movie Adrift.
Yeah.
Right? Because I saw it. Like, I like boats.
Yeah.
I like those movies like people adrift.
Yeah.
I like people who are going to get eaten by
I'll go
sharks.
see Overboard.
Yeah, I'll go see it.
So, well, for our listeners, I want our
Yeah.
listeners to understand that,
Yeah.
when you say it's hard to get a movie made, well, of course, everybody knows when there's a blockbuster movie coming out, but you think of a studio like Paramount, if their equivalent is, you brought up Island, you brought up Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Records has a roster of artists. I don't know what their artist roster looks like, but they expect an album from each one of those artists a year, and, they got a big machine. Paramount has a big machine too. They're going to make 12 movies this year.
Yeah.
Not 120.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Movies.
They're going to make 12, and they're going to make a Star Trek, a Mission Impossible.
Right.
They'll probably make two
superhero films.
2 or 3 comedies.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they'll make a horror movie. 12 movies. They'll make 12
Which
movies.
one of that is going to be,
Right.
for our aspiring directors listening to this, which one of that is going to be you? So, really, when you talk about something getting greenlit,
They don't make thrillers anymore. Like, very few thrillers get made.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's just that business has become, it's not the Equalizer 2.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay? It's known. Yep. Denzel kill some people. He did it the first time. I want to go see that again.
Yeah, there's a lot of boxes that are already
But
checked.
Paramount doesn't have an art house division. All these places used to have divisions
Yeah.
that would make, like Fox had Fox Searchlight.
Yeah.
Right? Disney now is going to buy Fox. And one of the reasons they like it is that they have Fox Searchlight. It's like, Shape of Water and some of these. We still want to be in the awards business.
Yeah.
But, that means that in Disney's big empire, that tiny money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was even reading that Roseanne, oh my God, the #1 ABC show
Yeah.
was going to make $45 million in advertising revenue. That was, it was 1/10 of 1% of the revenue that it was like a blip.
Yeah.
Disney in TV, right? Like it was just like a crumb.
Yeah.
Okay, $45 million. It's the $250 million movies that cost another 150, i.e., like 400 million all in to market. Maybe 450, like that Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose some serious bread. So I think when studios are losing,
Hundreds of millions.
$400 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when they make $1 billion, talk about your
Yeah.
right. So they make $1 billion. There you go. Fine. We don't care. We can lose our ass on 6 of these other ones.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the ones that now as a director, you don't recover from that. Like me, nobody's. I literally was attached to a movie last year at TriStar Thriller. Didn't get made. We're still trying to scrounge up an actor for it. But they hadn't even heard of my last 3 movies.
Right.
They were still oh, Arlington, we loved Arlington Road, and
Yeah,
we
right.
loved Mothman Prophecies and Blind Spot.
Right.
We did some other videos, right? They had no
What
idea.
decade are you talking
They
about?
had no idea. Nostalgia, Last Word. They never even heard of them.
Yeah. But and you
That's a
drive
good thing. You operate under the radar. They don't know that you didn't make any money for
Yeah.
anybody. That's all they care about is money.
Yeah.
And if you're not making money, then what award? So every year it'll be frankly, I am so sick of the award season going from August,
Jeez.
right?
Yeah.
August is when this is the award season stuff,
Right.
to the following March
Yeah.
when the Oscars are.
That's brutal.
It's terrible.
It's long.
It's too long. It's just so movies. There's a great movie out now called First Reform that Paul Schrader did. Great movie. It's it was released in May and June. It's
Uh-huh.
people are showing up to it as an art house movie, but I don't know. The business has changed.
Yeah.
I missed the boat, man. So that's okay.
But you love boats.
I'll go make. I'm 56. I just want to make. There's a few movies I'd like to make, and I'd like to do a TV series, like a True Detective. I'd like to do like one of those TV series where you direct every episode.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Something like that.
That's like, which one of the Van Pattens directed all of everything from HBO?
Oh, Tim.
It's Tim.
Tim Van Patten. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like everybody has any filmmaker would lie if he didn't tell you, like, look, I just want to get nominated for an Oscar.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's the top of respect.
Yeah.
Just make one thing that could get
It gets nominated.
a nomination.
Yeah.
Not even Best Picture nominated. Like, somebody gets nominated for an acting performance in it or something.
That's a nod from
That's
the
a
industry
nod. It's a nod that you've made something in that, So you keep going and keep trying.
It's interesting to hear you talk about, the respect, the nod that everybody's looking for, because we're sitting in a beautiful house. I mean, you've clearly done well.
I've been working really hard for 30 years.
30 years. And the thing that still really matters is that your art gets looked at from the people who have worked hard in those same trenches for 30 years, and they say, yeah, he's one of the best.
Well, thanks.
That's still what matters.
You know what? That's being respected. So funny. My father played 12 years in the NFL. He was never all pro, right? Never made like all pro.
Right.
He'd make like second team all pro, or never went to the Pro Bowl. He'd make like sporting news, but like he never like was talked about in that. But he goes, I don't care about that. The guys who knew the game respected me.
Yeah, he was a veteran.
And that's why I just would like to make a couple of movies. Just like make a couple that are out there in that world.
So, okay, comparing your career in film to your dad's career in the NFL, it's two different things. But in his career, he played 12 seasons with the Colts. Was that the only team he played for?
Yep.
He did an entire career with a single team. That's a nod from a team to say we're going to keep you until the wheels fall off.
Back then, people would do it. There was
what years did he play?
1953 to 1964.
Holy cow!
Which is like really ancient history.
Yeah. 53 to 64, though. The Colts had to have won a championship sometime around the year, right?
So 58 and 59.
58 and 59 with Johnny
played.
U.
That's right.
So your career as a filmmaker, you've been working hard for 30 years. You've got a long list of artists that we know and love, and you've been an integral part of the stories that they've told. I don't know, man. It seems to me like you made it.
Well, I'm not saying I have it on a... It's funny, I'm going to do a book. I think, that originally was going to be about videos. I wanted to do a video... Like a year ago, I told some stories to some website. They were asking about Jeremy.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I'm like, could you talk about Alice in Chains? And just maybe talk for 5 minutes, and they just would transcribe it, and boom, then another video. Like, they would do one a week. And they're like, those were really cool. Like, you should do more of those. And somebody said, you should do a book of them. So my brain started going. It's like, I have a lot of experiences. I've talked to, at the time I was doing a few of these things and had gone and spoken at the Museum of Moving Image. This was like 5 years ago. So over time, yes, that acknowledgement of you've done a lot of work was nice to hear, for sure. For sure. And I never deny that. And I'm never like, no, it sucked. Like, I'm a realist. It's not any filmmaker, any artist, any good, like an athlete who's like, no, I want to play a couple more years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, an athlete, their body just breaks down.
Sure.
They're like, I can't do it. Or they get cut. Like, I love Brandon Marshall's like, you know what? The world was telling me that they didn't really think I had any gas left in the tank. Now, for a football player, at age 33 to be told you're done, right?
Yeah.
I'm writing a script about that, actually, about like what happens when you're like your midlife crisis is at like 31.
Yeah.
And the one thing you've known your whole life not to do, play football, is like you're done. You're like, holy shit.
Wait, what? This is all the
Uh-huh.
praise I've known
Right.
in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in a way, you just, and you don't be like, oh, these kids these days are technology, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to adapt. And certainly, like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I saved money and wasn't an asshole with it, in order to be able to, like, okay, buy a house and own it outright. So you'd be like, great. I got a kid to look after and stuff like that. So I'm like, what do I really have? Do I have a good 15 years left? I'm 56. 71, right?
Yeah.
A good, let's just say I got a good 10 good, solid working years, right? There's not a lot of 71-year-old pilot directors.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of 70-year-old
Yeah.
commercial directors.
Right.
Right? But, so when I had these video things, my friend said, so I started writing a treatment to do a book. So I said, okay, here, this is what the book would be. And it was videos. And some publisher was like, okay, I'm not selling it on me. It's like, hey, I've worked, it was exactly what you said. I've worked with some cool people. I'm going to tell my story through, and maybe I'll get some of them to say a few words.
Chime in, yeah.
Chime in, right? And the one guy said, he goes, don't make it just about videos. Why don't you just make it about telling stories in all these different mediums? Because not many people do that. So you can make it like, he was calling it like a maker share. You're a maker. You make stuff. Share.
Yeah.
Share what it was like.
Yeah.
So the only way I can organize it is I'm doing the chapters is start at the beginning. Like, yep. And what would come out of it? Because I actually was thinking, it was like, God, when I speak to the Bono or like, I'm going to record it like this, I was like, that would be a good podcast.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like you could weave together. He goes, yeah, well, maybe you could weave together their things with some of your reading of the book as something. But let's start with the book.
Yeah.
And let's just start with start talking and talk till the end and amass. As he said, you'll just amass. It's like 50,000 words they want.
Yeah.
You'll amass 50,000 words. And you start with that. Then they start, because now I have no idea how a book is done.
Right.
Right? Like I look at some of these, I'm like, oh, how did you, right? And they're like, you just start with the words.
Yeah.
Get it all out.
Pile them up and then get the scalpel
Right,
out.
and then they start editing it and say, no, you don't need to have this go a little more here. Then start laying in the images. So it's like, it's interesting. It's kind of like making a movie.
It's not unlike your process.
You got to start this with the script, then you got to edit it and
Yep.
structure it, and then put in some images and lay it out.
And really, a lot of your work can be done with the podcast augmenting the creative process. Like you're talking about the NFL transition guy. I've been on his show. He's been on our show. Mark Pattison was an NFL player out of UW and then played for the Saints and Raiders, that kind of thing. He went through that. He's like, and then I realized, holy shit, like my life has totally changed, and it's never going to be that anymore. And it just crushed him for a long time. You know?
Long time. You should get this guy on your show. Do you know Sean Pamphilon? He has made documentaries. He made a documentary about football. And then he was involved with Steve Gleason, the documentary about that Saints guy who had ALS.
Yeah.
Really interesting guy. It's like, just that same thing you're talking about, like the merger of sports and, sports and film and storytelling and mortality. Look, we all, we grew up with the same heroes.
Right.
I haven't even thought about it. Like, oh God, maybe there's like, I know there'd be influences, but like, who inspired you? And so it's very funny when the guy said, and I appreciate you saying that, because when the guy in New York said, he goes, yeah, and for like, just like how you make it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to poo-poo it and say, well, I've made it. I said making it implies you're done, right? So, hey, like if somebody could look at an exterior as that, but like you look at the work and say, to be able to sit there and say, wait, how can I influence How do you teach younger people?
Yeah.
All the time, younger people will say, hey, can I come pick your brain? Can I talk to you? Whatever. I think it's a big part of the business is giving back. Giving back so people can learn. And part of like my website, I share so much on my website about my process.
Yeah.
And like that's the only way people can learn.
Yeah.
Or say to them, like a young director's like, well, this kid the other day, young director, father's a pretty well-known editor, shows me his 2 music videos. What do you think? He said, do you want me to be honest? And I just gave it to him honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, just told him, I said, this is what you need to do. Great. And he was like, well, if I fly to L.A. for some meetings. I said, dude, you're fucking 21. What do you mean fly to L.A. for some... You're like, you think people are going to beg?
Yeah.
I said, there's fucking people there's a million kids that want to do what you do. They're making shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 10 assistants that left me like, I said, I'm competing for the same jobs now against you.
Right.
For no money.
Yeah.
That's the deal, dude.
Wow.
Like, you're going to leave me now? Okay, good luck. You should remember you have a steady job here.
Yeah.
You sure you want to give up like $600 a week to go write
Into
treatments
the
for
abyss?
music videos for like $7,000 budgets?
Yeah.
Where you're going to make like $700, but you got to do it. And the ones that have done well have taken my word and will do everything. Shoot, edit, documentary, travel around the world shooting cameras for this rapper. Come back, I'm editing this documentary on this guy. Oh, I'm writing some stuff for some website about sports. Oh, I did I'm co-writing a surfing documentary. Whatever, the guy's got like 8 things he's doing. He's busy as shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he's probably making, though, $700 from this, $1,000 from that. That one's a freebie. But he's piecing together his...
Yeah.
Right? His $2,500 a month that he needs for his nut, right?
Yeah.
And at that age, at 25, all you care about is making your nut, right?
Yeah.
So don't even worry about making money until you're 30.
Yeah.
Just get good.
Meanwhile, that 21-year-old kid has this brilliant idea, writes it down, shows up, pitches at Paramount, and they go, what else you got?
Fuck,
And
man,
you're like,
all the time. Exactly.
What do you mean, what else I got?
Yeah. It's a great idea, but
Right?
everybody
But just
needs to know what
do
else.
everything.
I want to punctuate what you just said because one of the things that people, when they establish their goals and they're that young and their goal is to, do this specific thing or do that specific thing or make that feature, get that meeting, like Pete said. But what you said, the end of your sentence was get good.
Yeah.
Fucking get good. If you
Takes a
want to
long
get
time.
someplace, first get good.
Yeah.
It was Gavin DeGraw who said he moved to New York and he heard all his contemporaries in music who were moving to New York to get signed. And the thing that attracted me to him was that he said, I wanted to move to New York to get good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the podcast world, everybody's like, how do I monetize? Build something that's valuable. You can't sell shit.
And
But if you can,
until it has a value.
Like, honestly, until... Like, you do something, you go up and you get good reviews and you get shit reviews, and you learn early on in movies. It wasn't until making movies was the first time I really tasted failure. Pretty much through MTV, you make promos.
Yeah.
They write
Everybody
about
likes
it.
them.
Oh, okay, wow, that's pretty good. Then you start doing some videos, and like, hey, that's pretty good. United States of Poetry, like, oh yeah, wow, that's got good reviews and good press. Like, man, you start making movies and you start getting reviews. Then over the years, seeing how criticism has changed, holy shit, you're like, god damn, man.
How criticism has
How
changed.
criticism has changed and how
God.
mean it became.
Now
And how
you're not
personal
it's not just
it
a bad
became.
movie, but you're dumb.
Then
Yeah.
you're just like, fuck this, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's like, I made this movie, I Melt With You, and I remember sitting at Sundance, and the writer had never made a movie before. I said, dude, we're going to get fucking creamed.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, we're going to get crushed. And, like, Owen Gleiberman from the Entertainment Weekly was like, this is the worst movie
God.
ever made. Now I'm like, it's a badge of honor. I'm like, really the
Yes.
worst movie ever made?
Yeah.
The
Thank you.
hyperbole. Yes.
You know what I mean? So you're just like, great. When I think about somebody that pisses people off or infuriates them or, just gets under their skin,
That guy's just jealous because he had a crush on Rob Lowe.
probably.
Yeah.
But you turn a mirror to middle-aged men on their failure. That movie's like, hi, reflection. If you like the only people who like that movie are like, okay, I'm really like, Jesus, I'm through it, and I get it. I get it's just an ugly reflection of like, I'm gonna look back at my last 25 years, and if I'm not satisfied with it and pretty much hate myself for it, this movie's just gonna stick my face in it and has no redeeming hope at the end. Like, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at WeFixYourScript.com. Jeff, who runs the thing, is a friend of mine and someone I believe in deeply. If you've got an idea, if you've got half a script on like a Word document somewhere, Jeff is your guy. He does a 15-minute free consultation. Here's what happens. The people that work with Jeff, their scripts, they win awards. Most importantly, what that means is the script is out of your head. It's not something you want to do. It's done, and you've got it in front of people that want to buy ideas. If you're going to write a script, talk to Jeff. At least it's free. It's 15 minutes, and he will get you going in the right direction. Now enjoy the show.
And the writer and I, he was just like, he goes, it's true. And like, if you hadn't had male relationships like that, if you hadn't like, I remember sitting there with Rob Law one time, and this guy had crushed us in this review. Like, geez, and he walks over.
The reviewer.
He shakes my hand like this. It was like,
Oh, he gives you the dead fish.
Oh, Jesus.
and we're sitting there. I said, this guy never fucking partied.
Yeah.
This guy never like went through some shit with.
Right.
He didn't have those experiences.
Yeah.
He was the kind of guy in college that would hate you and your friends. He would just hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jealous.
And these weren't like Yahoo misogynistic fraternity people like oh, I'm in a fraternity, I rape girls, It's like, no, like people who partied, people who did drugs, people who had serious male friendships. If you did that at a certain time in your life and you were a certain age and you related to the music, then you loved the
Then
movie.
you got it. Yeah.
And if not, then
You
it
didn't
wasn't
get it.
for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It wasn't for you. It wasn't for you, 60-year-old art critic lady who writes for Film Comic.
Right.
Ugh. It was yucky.
It made
Terrible.
me physically ill. That kind
No, it
of
was
thing.
just like
Yeah.
the
Come on.
style of it. I just
Sure.
I hate it.
Not for them.
My agent, she was, why do you want to make this? I said, I just need to.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Got to get it
best,
out.
Best reason ever.
It was the same way with nostalgia.
Got
So,
to get it out.
The world is littered with artists who are famous years after they die that were just hated when they. But I don't do that like, oh, well, no, because it's just like, you don't think about it. I could never make I'm Out With You again. That's where I was in my life. My mother had died. That's where I was in my life. This, like, I can't make nostalgia now. So the quartet of movies, Henry Poole, nostalgia, Last Word, like the grief works.
Yeah.
Great. That's what I made in a 12-year period that I raised my daughter to become a young woman. And the videos are the same way, all the videos. Thank God for those bands. From the Foo Fighters to Moby to down, like, we're all along the way. All the videos, if I did a screening one time and tracked them from 2004 on. There was like a story right there.
Yeah.
Just a story of like, I'm a little hopeful. They're all sad, but they're like sad and angry or sad and melancholy and slow and sad and maybe a little hopeful. Like this Damian Marley one's like really like positive.
Yeah.
It's an
sad.
emergence. A little sad still.
Know what it is? It's an awakening.
Okay.
It's an awakening. It is a consciousness. It's the first video of the third life, I call it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can have error.
And that is pretty profound
Yeah.
for me to cop to that, to acknowledge that. And the next phase is beginning.
Picasso
That's good.
had eras. You have eras. We all.
Oh Jesus, yes.
You know, and the thing that you bring to the world, and you kind of alluded to it with your screening of all your videos, is that you've learned to tell stories from all of the perspectives. You know, Bono plays with perspective and voice. All of those great artists, you know, they all like, how do I say something else about love, about whatever it is? And you've got a knack for going, I can tell that, I can tell that. And so you got like this sphere of like a 360 point of view that you've told all these different stories from, if that makes sense.
Wow. Well, you and the book publisher are pointing out something that I hadn't really.
Yeah.
You know, again, you don't think of yourself as yourself. You don't.
Yeah.
It's harder. It's easy. It's hard to step outside.
Well, you have to think linearly, and I'm thinking spherically for you, because you are the one looking through that lens, going, "This is what this emotion is. And this is how
You got to drive it forward.
Yeah. But then when we sit back and get to look, we get to put the puzzle together for you and go, here's Jeremy, which is a wildly different video than one, which is wildly different than whatever De La Soul put it, you know, and all these different things, and yet you're the guy who's telling you're connecting all of these, you know,
all over the years too.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you're driving
Like
it
the last
forward, and
one
we're
I did-
behind you saying, "Hey, you're dragging your tailpipe."
The biggest, but the last one I did, the
Yeah.
Imagine Dragons video. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's 11 minutes. That's some serious, ambitious shit for a music video.
Yeah.
It's ultimately about forgiveness. It's ultimately about. I listened to the song. I was like, can a man forgive himself for unforgivable crimes
Yeah.
in his mind? And can he still be loved? And the story, and in it, the singer and his real wife were working out their shit.
Yeah.
And he's in the voiceover in it that I wrote, purely influenced by Terrence Malick. You know, the guy is able to pass. You know, so sometimes you have to metaphorically let yourself die in these things in order to, like, okay, I'm going to have the character. I can switch genders. I could write for a female character, Cage the Elephant, Silver Sun Pickups, very much female protagonists being chased, wanting to both kill. They both kill somebody. In one instance, she kills a version of herself. So it's all this, like, you're just, like, the only person who's seen it all, frankly, is my therapist. My therapist came to Nostalgia and was just like, gave me the biggest hug. He's seen everything, every video.
Yeah.
Since 1995, I've known this guy. He's the only one who's seen everything, and he knows what everyone means. And he goes, I think you're ready. And he was talking about that
Wow.
the next phase.
Wow.
But even that, I felt it with Imagine Dragons. Like, I heard this other track. I was like, yeah. The Damian Marley was like, it even came. It was meant to be that the girl who sent it to me, it was meant to be that this other commercial I was bidding on passed. Do you know what I mean? It's like these things that come and go, and like now when a movie doesn't happen, I'm like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I should be doing.
Yeah.
At least that's my rationalization.
I think it makes sense.
Right? It's like one door
Yeah.
closes, a window opens, and you jump the fuck out.
Well, that's what 30 years of hard work will bring you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That kind of clarity.
I think so. A little bit of clarity,
Yeah.
a little bit of confidence. I tell you, I was shooting this little commercial last week. I was just like, man, I was on my game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, I'm gonna accept my style. Like I'm gonna tell the story. It felt good. The casting was good. I just was working on the editing today with it. It's like, it felt good. It works.
Yeah.
But it was just like that confidence. And you know when you know what you're doing, do you cook?
I'm going to answer that question, but I just want to say that we just, not the first time today, heard about the combination of clarity, competence, and confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this.
And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do cook. Where are you going with
When
that?
you're doing, but like I've only just started to really cook. Like I'm gonna start to really cook and like get good at something. My daughter bakes, and she's actually a pretty good cook. But like where you're saying, okay, I'm gonna try that recipe again. My brother gave me this veal marsala recipe. I'm like, I gotta do it. Like you gotta do it a lot to get good at it.
Yeah.
My
You gotta
mother
get
was
the
a great
technique
cook.
down.
She goes, I was terrible when I married your father. I was terrible. You got to get better at it. You got to just keep doing it, keep practicing. But after a while, you know your sweet spot. I was editing this video today. I'm going to send you guys next week 4 new pieces that I've made in the last month. A video essay, like a little 3-minute art film.
Yeah.
This little commercial. They're just stuff that, like, nothing high profile, but just like, because like I realize my brain has to be making.
You have to make stuff.
Output.
Yeah.
I gotta make something. And this one video is for this band in Minnesota called Low. It's like $3,000. It's great. It's all shit I shot on my phone over the last 14 years.
Huh.
Treated. It's beautiful. It's like a video art piece.
Huh.
It's just beautiful, and like there's footage of my mother in there. And in a way, I realized, not even through making it and really giving a lot of footage to an editor and like actually giving up a lot of control, that the video is actually me still in a process of saying goodbye to my mother.
Oh, man.
A grief that I thought I'd really come to terms with.
Right.
But deep down is still in there that, and there's footage, just like, man, you see it in the imagery. And I had chosen some of the stuff. I gave her a bunch of stuff, but seeing what she chooses, and like, but I'd shot it. So I shot these weird swings going through in Paris. You know those things you go up in there, like roundy round, like those beautiful moving people on swings and there, like ropes and like just this. I mean, over 14 years, I had like 19 hours of footage, and I just gave her a drive, and I said, I think there's a bunch of really cool shit in here.
Have at it.
Go.
Make something.
Yeah, make something.
Wow.
So one day, I should do a real, maybe I could get people to show up and do like a benefit. Like if you said, and show the videos, like the grief works.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to rent a space.
Sure.
Just get an empty space and do something that like kind of that you could, then the proceeds could go somewhere.
There's all kinds of places that want to have a reason to gather people too. You know, there are people doing comedy in graveyards right now, just because they're experimenting with
get
the
a
art
couple
form.
people there.
Yeah.
You know, because like they're not going to show up for my shit. But if I said, and there's going to be a few special guests.
Yeah. Awareness for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Figure out the cause that it fits.
My mortgage cause.
Uh.
My daughter's education cause. Bella's summer camp fund.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, you've been very generous with your time. We
My
love
pleasure.
having you on. We
I love
really
doing it.
digging deep with you. And I just
Who's your next guest? How do you find your guests?
Hard work. You know how it goes. You reach out to people, and some people are ready to talk. Some people need to be cajoled. Some people need to be left alone. But everybody's got to be asked.
Sure, and everyone's
know.
got to be scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you and I, we always struggle
God,
to get
yeah.
it. But you know, I also know that you intend to do it, and I
Absolutely.
You know, and your schedule's crazy. Our schedule's crazy.
Absolutely. Well, it's such a good medium that you can just show up with this
Yeah.
gear and do it.
Yeah.
I love when you ask me how long does the setup take. 90 seconds. Who can say no to that?
Well, if you need me to put in a good word and you want to get like a wish list of somebody, let me know.
Okay.
We'd like to. Our wish list includes everybody
We
you've
actually
ever worked
mentioned
with.
Rob Lowe today, talking like
Rob would do it. Rob's
Done.
great. It's the kind of Rob's the kind of guy that I email or text.
Yeah. Well, that's what we figured. We're like, he's
He
the kind of guy that
loves
would
doing
do
it.
it.
You know, if the schedule works out, he loves doing that stuff.
Yeah. He's a good dude. He's a good
Just
dude.
say, you know, especially if you just started by saying, Rob, we want to talk. We want to start by talking about I melt with you. Just do that one way in, and then be like, because he's so good in that movie. It's like Rob, the underrated Rob Lowe.
Right.
Did you see him in that Candelabra, the Soderbergh movie about Liberace?
No, I've been wanting to watch it, though.
Fuck, dude. He plays like this plastic surgery doctor
Perfect.
Looks like he's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he is pretty amazing.
He's directing his first movie.
Oh, is he really?
Yep.
Oh, that's a great reason.
That's a long time
A
coming.
remake for Lifetime. A remake of The Bad Seed.
Wonder why he's decided to do it now with a remake.
And for Lifetime, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do it theatrical.
Because he's the lady killer. You can go on Lifetime, people are going to watch. Like, Rob Lowe? Oh, okay. He's got a good audience there.
God, I love Rob Lowe.
Oh, I do
mean,
too.
Rob Lowe,
you know,
he is so fucking funny. He does great imitations like a Schwarzenegger and Stallone. He had me. He's so entertaining.
Do you do imitations at all?
Zero. Absolutely none. I wish I did.
Well, you do plenty of other things.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
you know what I really like about Rob Lowe, not to harp on Rob Lowe, is he's so goddamn good looking, and that's not even what you like about him.
No. Yeah. He's been through it.
Yeah.
He's still the same.
He came out the other
He
end.
got busted and he survived.
Yeah.
That's
It
true.
didn't ruin his career.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, he came out the other end, he persevered, and that's exactly what you're talking about with, you know, the situation with your really serious, good male friends who have been through the fire with you.
Yeah.
And he gets to say, yeah, good looking as I am, you can't hate me for being good looking because I've been through the fire.
Through the fire. Well, and he also got busted before the Me Too
Yeah.
era. Like, that wouldn't fly now if some guy was caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people are going to roll. A lot of heads are going to roll there.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to... Like, Harvey Weinstein's going to go to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Some of these guys... It'll be
Mario
like,
Batali's going to go to jail because he was raping people.
Yeah. I wonder, like... But, like, some people's careers, like Ratner or Spacey, like, what's...
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's going to happen with those?
I
Where
don't know, man. That's going to have to be, like... We might be talking years
Yeah,
before.
there was a reckoning. But if Robert Downey Jr. can make it back from as far away as he was from it, you know,
But he just
and
was beating
Vick can
himself
come
up.
back. Yeah, but I mean, that's so far from work that you can get
Yeah,
back.
Michael
to it.
Vick with the dogs.
Mhm.
Okay, that was pretty horrible.
Yeah, so you can get back. But I was going to tell you the thing we're working on next. We're going to head over to our buddy's house. He does a little voiceover work. He's a musician. But we have this other concept we do with the Break It Down show where we take two albums, right? And you'll appreciate this. And we line them up in a boxing format. So track 1 versus track 1 is round 1. You do a 10-point must scoring system.
Oh.
And then we try to line the tracks up so it's 11 track albums. But we're going to go do Elvis Costello against Earth, Wind, and Fire tonight.
So you play one, then play the other?
Yeah, exactly.
And then riff about it and talk
yeah,
about it?
riff about it, and then choose a winner of that round.
How many people voting on it?
3.
The three
So you have
the
to have a
three of us.
tiebreak.
Yeah. So the three of us
That's
judge
so
it.
funny.
Yeah.
My head of sales for the commercial company I'm with, we were like waiting on the call today, and he goes, I'm going to go see some music. And he's a big music fan. And he was talking about this band, The Posies.
Sure.
Right. And I said, yeah, guess what? I said, Posies.
Yeah.
He goes, what about Matthew Sweet? And I was like, I preferred the DBs. He goes, oh. So we were literally back and forth, not a serve versus. And I said, God, you know what we should do is you should have like a March Madness. With like 64 bands.
Yes,
Let's write down
indeed.
64 band names, put them in a hat, and you do a thing.
Yeah.
And I said the exact same thing. I said, you'd have to have 3 people, though.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have
Well, we still on occasion get a tie because it can't happen. Like if I 85 and he's one way or the other, but it's rare that happens. And you should do one with us because you know music.
Oh, God,
And
yes.
then here's the thing: is like you pick like a motherfucker of a fight. Like it's like Jimi Hendrix versus Journey. Now you got to say one of those guys loses, and you're like, who the hell loses out of the Who and U2? You're like,
But you got to have the same amount of songs.
yeah, close. We
It
can
just
get
works
around it.
out better
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
That's the prettiest way to do it. But like tonight, one album is longer but has fewer tracks. So we kind of rigged it up so that it works. But I'll send you a link to one of the shows. I think you'll dig it.
That's really fun.
It's a lot of fun.
That's really... How much of each song do you play?
I do it in post. So like you'll do the work ahead of time, right? Like you listen to both albums. You
Yeah,
kinda
the
do
show is about the debate, and then
Yeah.
and then we'll drop a snippet of the song. Especially if you bring up something like, you know what, this song had such a powerful bridge, that was the decider for me. Well, then we'll play a little bit of the bridge.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
The album fight.
Album fight, yeah.
And one of our fellow judges, this guy named Scott Burford, he took the 64 best-selling albums of the 1970s, and he made his March Madness bracket.
Yeah.
And it ended with
think alike.
Fleetwood Mac Rumors.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That would be wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. And the thing is when you listen to these albums again with and you're trying to separate two incredible songs. You're like, well, what's the difference? And you're like, we push ourselves to break a tie. I mean, you can have a tie, but try to break it. And you really find so here's the example. We had Nirvana Nevermind against Achtung Baby, right? Same year.
Nevermind.
Right? And then you go through
You-
and track
you
for
would
track.
think.
Song for song.
You would think. But when you go through and you do the math, you realize what we came to realize was when you get down to like track 7, track 8, when you're deep in the album.
Nirvana started to fall apart.
Yeah.
And then you also realize you have two great songwriters, but one was clearly more polished and
And one had more to draw from emotionally.
Yes.
I mean, Bono by then was a veteran songwriter with a whole lot of life in a whole lot of world.
Okay, so you have the Cars' first record versus Joe Jackson, Look Sharp.
Okay.
Yeah, so
yeah,
you know how
that's
to
a
do
good
it.
one.
We did the Cars versus Bon Jovi because of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction
Yeah,
season.
I saw both those. Yeah.
So we did those. We put them together.
Heartbeat City versus Slippery When Wet.
And it was up. And then you
Heartbeat City?
Yeah.
and then you do it, and you're like,
I would
can't
use the
believe
first
that close.
record.
Yeah. Well,
First
either way,
first Cars
we
record.
can still do that one. We can do that one when you have your show.
Well, we'll
Jovi
do that
won, right?
versus Joe Jackson. What's that?
Jovi won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't there's been a couple of walkovers.
It
But
wasn't
it's rare.
Yeah, there haven't been too many runaways. First of all, because we don't put them in there
Unless
unless
they're-
we love the album.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you're really putting love against love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't want it to be a negative thing. We want people to enjoy the music. Like with Earth, Wind, and Fire tonight, a lot of folks
Well, we've had
in the audience don't know
270 episodes,
Yeah.
and a lot of them have been with musicians who have played on these records.
Yeah,
So
gotta
I
be
can't.
respectful.
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
So
We
I
sat
mean, we
across
did.
from a musician 2 times today already. That played on a lot of these tracks. So we're gonna.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to listen to one.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark Pellington, everybody.